My 14-year-old son had years of ABA therapy and is doing really well. The only problem is mornings. He moves so slow, goes back to bed, falls asleep in the shower, and makes us all late. I have tried so many ways to motivate him to get up and get moving, but nothing works, and he will say, "Stop trying to ABA me." I feel like that's a familiar thing. I don't know how much of this is just him being a teen, but it's making us all nuts, and what do you suggest? I can't wait to hear this because we have some of these same problems.
Well, I think my gut instinct is to say definitely get an appointment scheduled with your primary care physician, because we just want to make sure that we rule out any type of possible medical components that could be contributing to his struggles with waking up in the morning. We just want to make sure that your son is healthy. And if all works out, I'm thinking that you definitely have got a true teenager on your hands. Between the ages of like 14 and 17, teenagers require like an average of 10 hours of sleep. And it sounds crazy and it sounds like a lot of sleep, but their body's still developing in their brain, and so they do require more. And I think the best thing to look at is looking at the sleep routine in general, looking at what time your son's going to bed, and making sure that it's enough time so that he does get all the sleep that he needs. And when you start looking at that, I always recommend my families to get something like a sleep log, and I just I have the families jot down notes about what time they go to bed. Sometimes there's certain foods that you eat before bedtime that will keep you up and restless during the night, or drinking before bed, having too much water, having your tummy full, and digesting food. And so there's like so much to that. So I would start off with getting a log so that you can start looking at the patterns with his struggles in getting up in the morning.
I love that, because I wouldn't have occurred to me to make sure that there isn't some medical thing that's happening. So love that advice. And I didn't know that teenagers needed 10 hours of sleep. I think the most my son ever gets is 8, and he's always dragging. I'm going to tell him, I'm going to cut that little part out that you just said and play that for him and say it's got to be 10 hours. Expect to not be on his Christmas card list because he wants to stay up late.